Hello everyone out there, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you some very small self-care ideas for when you're feeling really unmotivated or if you're feeling down. In a perfect world, of course, we would always be, nourishing our bodies and cooking healthy meals and doing all the things that we need to do to help us feel our best. But the reality is that we don't always feel like that. We don't always feel motivated. We don't always feel, like doing some of the things that we know that we could be doing to feel our best. And so I've put together a list of some self-care ideas that are very simple, easy to do, don't require a whole ton of effort, but can still have a really big payoff for you mentally and emotionally, and can sometimes act as a bit of a catalyst to sort of get you out of a bit of a rut. Before we dive in, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, you can do so below. I make videos each week on healthy and simple living, and I would love to have you here as part of this community. So let's get started. So number one is to do a brain dump. If you're not familiar with this term, a brain dump is quite literally just taking the things that are on your mind and putting them down onto paper. You can do this on a piece of paper with a pen. You can even open up a new note on your phone. And really all you're doing is you're not worrying about punctuation, you're not worrying about how you're writing or what you're writing even. You're just whatever's on your mind, things that might be stressing you out, bothering you, weighing you down, anything that you're ruminating over, just anything, just get it all out onto paper. And not only is this a great way to get some of those stresses off your chest, remove some of that weight, but it's also a really great way to take an objective look at some of those things, because a lot of times what happens is when we're feeling really stressed out, when we're just feeling bogged down by all kinds of stuff that we're thinking about that's weighing us down, is we can just feel the weight of that. But by putting it onto paper, we can really look at, okay, what really matters here and what doesn't really matter as much. My next idea for you here is that if you have any chores that you need to do, or really any other task kind of applies here, but let's say you've got a whole bunch of dishes in the kitchen that need to get done, or your bedroom's a mess, you need to make your bed, or you need to clean the bathroom, or there's kids' toys everywhere, which by the way, I totally get how completely insurmountable these kinds of things can feel when you're feeling really unmotivated. Something that can be really helpful here is taking one of those chores and breaking it down into teeny tiny little baby steps. So for example, let's say you have dishes in the kitchen. Step one might be walking into the kitchen. Step two might be scraping some food off into the compost. Step three, did I already say step three? Step three might be filling up your sink with some soap and water. Step four might be washing a dish. So can you take one of those baby steps that you've broken down and do just that one? Does it feel a little bit more doable for you to do that? I at least find this helpful for me. It can feel a little bit more doable, and then we can get started with, or complete some of these things that we know will help us to feel better. In this case, tidying up our space a little bit and kind of caring for ourselves in that way. My next idea for you here is to stop scrolling on your phone. We all know that spending a lot of our time scrolling on our phone, spending a lot of time on social media can be not only a time suck, but like a soul sucker. It can really, sometimes it's fun, don't get me wrong, sometimes it can be fun to do that, but sometimes it can also just really drain you. It can actually almost make you feel even more blah, even more like when you are just really sucked into, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or whatever, even sometimes consuming a lot of the news, or if there's anything that's just stressing you out. So it can be so helpful to just stop scrolling. And there's a couple of signs here, telltale signs, that really show that you should probably take a bit of a break from your phone. And the first telltale sign is that you have been spending a lot of time on your phone and you're not feeling great as a result of it. Maybe you're feeling a heightened sense of anxiety as a result. And telltale sign number two is that when you do consciously put your phone down, you automatically reach for it after a minute or two. And you have to almost stop yourself. I know that I've experienced that before. Number four is to focus on some wins. Anything that you have accomplished, whether it's small or big, today or yesterday or this past week. Focus on those wins. Even write them down on a piece of paper. Sometimes we really do need to take a moment to be proud of what we have been doing, the things that we have been accomplishing. Again, big or small, it could be teeny tiny, but we do need to give ourselves some encouragement sometimes, and to be proud of the things that we are doing. Let me know in the comments below. Please share one of your wins from today or from this week, something that you're feeling really good about accomplishing. Again, it could be super small. It could be like the littlest thing that you can just take a moment to be proud of, or it can be a big thing. I will start. I scrubbed the concrete floor in our basement because we've been doing a little bit of updating down there, and there was adhesive from like old carpet pads. I scrubbed it all off. Took me like an hour and a half, but feeling good about it. My next idea for you here is to just stretch in your seat. Just do a little stretching in your seat. Doesn't matter where you are, if you're on your couch, if you're on a chair, if you are in your bed, if you are out somewhere, if you're on the train. I'm definitely not gonna sit here and say, get out for a run or do some like lengthy exercise, because chances are if you're feeling really unmotivated right now, that's not something that you feel like doing. But just moving a little bit, like just doing a little stretch, can really make a big difference in how you feel. One of my favorite stretches is actually reaching my arms out in front of me, crossing my fingers together like this, and then reaching up and over to the other side. And it just feels so good to do that. Just a good stretch. Number 6 is to drink a glass of water. Sometimes it's the simple things that make us feel great. And hydrating is so important, especially when it comes to self-care. A lot of times when we're not feeling great, when we're feeling unmotivated, we can sometimes forget to do these things. But this is your reminder to go grab yourself a big glass of water and to try and drink that down. Another super simple idea for you here is to eat a piece of fruit. Just eat a piece of fruit, an apple, a banana, an orange, a peach, a plum, a persimmon even. Haven't had one of those in like a decade. Just eat a piece of fruit. It's nutritious, it's very delicious, and it always feels good to, again, kind of nourish ourselves in a very, very simple way. Also, eating a piece of fruit usually doesn't require a ton of food prep. You don't usually have to do too much. You can just grab an apple and eat it. Number 8 is to take your supplements if you are currently on a supplement regime, of course. I'm not going to sit here and tell you which supplements that you should be taking, but if you are on a supplement regime right now from your doctor or a dietitian or your nutritionist, here's your gentle reminder to take those. I know, again, sometimes when we're feeling really unmotivated and just blah, sometimes these can go by the wayside and we almost don't even have the energy to reach for them in our cupboard, but this is me giving you a little gentle push to take them so that you can support your body. Whether this is a multivitamin you're taking or a probiotic or vitamin D or whatever it is, this is your little reminder. Next is to make yourself your favorite warm beverage, or a cold one if you'd like, but maybe this is a tea, your favorite tea, or a matcha latte, love those, or a hot chocolate, or maybe it's a cup of coffee. I also like to drink magnesium. You can take it as a supplement. It's like a powder supplement. I really quite like it, but it's very relaxing. That's a great little hot drink beverage you can drink as well. But make your favorite warm beverage. I always find this so comforting to just sit down and enjoy a drink that I love. Next is to remind yourself that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. This is one of my favorite phrases because it's so true, is recognizing the impermanence of things, right? The way that we feel will not always stay this way. So if we're feeling really unmotivated, if we're not feeling great, if we're feeling down or depressed, things will always ebb and flow and shift and change. And that's totally cool. That's part of life and the human experience. So try to remind yourself that however you're feeling right now, it will change. It will change. Give it some time and it will shift, and this too shall pass. Alrighty, my next idea for you here is to put on a song that you love. Your favorite song, your favorite album, your favorite playlist even. The thing with music, and music that we absolutely love, is that it's not only quite a mood booster because of the dopamine rush that we get when we hear a song that we love. It helps us to secrete the hormone or the neurotransmitter dopamine, so that feel-good neurotransmitter. It feels good when we listen to music, but it can also, in some cases, help to motivate you a little bit. When you hear a beat that you love, I would even go as far as saying, if you're up for it, to dance. Get up and dance. And this is kind of a win-win, because when we dance, we're listening to a song that we love or music that we love. We've got dopamine going, but also some endorphins when we move our body. It is such a great thing that you can do. It just feels good. Getting some fresh air, just stepping outside, even in your backyard if you have a backyard, or on your front porch, just opening your front door and standing there for a moment, or if you have a balcony, standing out there, or even by a window, and just getting some fresh air for a moment. Just taking a second to stop, to chill out, take a deep breath. Bonus points if you can get some sunshine on your face, on your skin, also feels really good. Next is to take a bath or a shower, and really to just freshen up. It can sometimes motivate us a little bit as well once we've cleaned up a bit, we've washed our hair, we've just cleaned ourselves. I know that I always feel good if I'm ever in a rut. Sometimes I just need to have a shower and just feel fresh, and it can make a big difference in our mood and just our ability to kind of get going a little bit. Can sometimes be really, really helpful. My next idea for you here is to give yourself permission to do nothing. Sometimes all we want to do is just absolutely nothing, but what we need is that permission to do nothing. Otherwise, we kind of resist doing nothing. It's like we feel like we shouldn't be doing nothing, but we're doing it anyway, and then we feel bad about it, and then it's just this messy situation that doesn't actually feel good or like rejuvenating, I guess. So really give yourself permission to take a few minutes and just do nothing, absolutely nothing, and just chill for a second. If you'd like to, if you're up for it, you can even turn it into a bit of meditation by looking at what is around you. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? How do you feel right now? And kind of being a bit of an observer, bringing some of that self-awareness to the moment, being an observer of what's around you as opposed to just straight up judging what you're doing, just observing what's going on around you. And lastly is to create a joy list, to write out a joy list. I've actually talked about this in one of my previous videos, but a joy list is exactly what it sounds like. It's a list of all the things that bring you joy, unique to you, the things that bring you joy or make you feel at peace or content or happy, and just bring you joy. And so write it all out, write out all of the things that make you feel good. And it's a useful tool because we can take this little list that we've created and we can review it anytime that we need a little reminder of some of the things that bring us joy, because sometimes we can forget about some of the things that we love and that make us happy, and having that list can be really helpful to review. And when you're feeling down, you can look through it and see if there's anything that stands out to you that you feel like you're kind of up for doing. Maybe there's something you're in the mood for that you're like, you know what, this would make me feel really good right now. All right, so that is it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that there was at least one or two things that inspired you a little bit and can help you to get out of a little bit of a rut. Let me know which of these ideas you think that you might want to try first. If you have any other ideas that you would love to add to this list, please leave them below in the comments. We can all chat with each other, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.